Okay, it was dark that night, really dark. The clouds were low hung and there was no moon in the sky. And I'm driving down a country road with my daughter. I'm bringing her home from her FFA meeting, Future Farmers of America. She's the only kid, the first one in Eastern Hancock history to be a vegetarian in FFA. Now, she and I don't agree on the vegetarian thing. It's been a point of conflict and one of our favorite ones, I guess. And so it was kind of nice to see her all excited about Future Farmers. And I said, yes, she's going to get that understanding of what farm animals are all about. And she was in such a good mood that I actually was driving slower because I wasn't in any hurry to get home. I happened to notice a mile up the road, there was a car coming towards me. I had their headlights. And for the brief time that they were coming and turning the corner, in their headlights, I saw the outline of an animal, four-legged animal, in the middle of the road. Wow. All right, so I started to hit the brakes. These turned out to be more than one, two black Angus cows in the middle of the road. And let me tell you, they were black. The only thing I saw were their whites of their eyes. The blaze on one of them had on a head and the white sock on one of the other cows. So now I'm, as it is with all accidents, all disasters, time seems to stretch out. So I had time to think. Should I turn to the right? Well, to the right, there's an embankment. It goes up pretty high. So I don't want to drive my daughter into the embankment. On the other side was a farm field with some corn, and I could turn that way, but don't they have ditches there? What if there's a ditch? I might crash, and my daughter crashed in the car wreck. I didn't want that. So I'm still braking, and I decide I'm going to steer around them. And as I get closer, there's a third one. Now, I have on the brake as hard as I can go, gripping the steering wheel, and I get down to 5 miles an hour, and just before the car stops, the right front side of the car hits the hip of the third cow. Turns out there were 4 cows entirely. I don't know where the 4th one came from, but it was there too. But my first concern was, oh my gosh, now there's a cow lane in the middle of the road. What if a car comes up? They're going to be coming up at a speed. They won't see it. They'll smash. So I got to get the sheriff to come out. So I run up to the house and I pound on the door and I say, please, please call the sheriff, call the 911. We got a cow in the middle of the road. Then I go back to my daughter. She's stuck in the car. She can't get out. She won't open that door. She doesn't want to see the cow. She doesn't want to see the hurt animal stuck in the middle of the road. So I drag her up over the console, past the steering wheel, and up to the house. And these are strangers, never met these people before in my life. And I said, could you please watch her? Because she was getting on the edge of hysterical. The sheriff shows up about time. So I'm standing there with my flashers on, watching him to flag down any cars coming. He shows up, and he realizes the flashers on his car is upsetting the cow. So he turns them off. And I'm thinking, you know, we should be putting out flares. He should be calling a backup to cover the intersection up ahead. You know, I was really concerned that someone's going to get hurt hitting the cow. He goes and does a door-to-door knocking to find the farmer, which he does. And the farmer and his son come out to see the cow, and they discuss what they're going to do about the cow. And they decide to euthanize it. So, in order to shoot the cow, the sheriff, deputy, decides that we need to come out of the house because he's going to use this high-powered rifle, and it could shoot right through the cow, right into the house. Now we're standing outside with no house to protect us, like we're not going to get shot. Okay, so my daughter is crying. The poor cow, the poor cow. It can't stand up. Well, I realize if the cow can't stand up, then it can't go to market. It's required to be on the hoof in order to be processed into meat. So why don't we just get a crane and prop it up? There's nothing wrong with that animal. Or put it out of its misery and euthanize it. The farmer's there and he had to make that decision. He decided to let the sheriff deputy shoot, so the sheriff brings out his high-powered rifle and he shoots the cow in the forehead about 1.5 feet away from the cow. The cow bellows. My daughter bellows. She is hysterically crying, the poor cow, the poor cow, the poor cow. Well, the farmers are sitting there, and the father says to the boy, darn, that was your FFA project this year. And I'm thinking, we need the meat. We need the meat from this cow. We can't just let this cow die. What a waste. And my daughter cries. So the sheriff realizing sheriff deputy hadn't gotten it done correctly the first time, he pulls out his high-powered rifle and he shoots it again. This time there's blood coming out of its mouth, but it's not dead. It is kicking in the middle of the road. My daughter is beside herself. And the farmer says, darn, she was such a nice cow. Then I started crying. I couldn't help myself. It was such a nice cow. All right, sheriff's deputy gonna try one more time. He pulls out his high-powered rifle. He shoots it again. It didn't die. My daughter sobbing into my jacket. And me crying with tears streaming down my face. And the farmer's very stoic. Oh yeah, this is too bad about that cow. We couldn't take it. We decided to leave the car there. We walked home. Well, for my daughter, that was a very traumatic experience because she really felt for that cow. And she continued in her ag class with the FFA, but she always got permission to leave the room when they showed the meat. I bet you can guess why. I, on the other hand, said, when I saw that my car was totaled, all I did is hit his hip at 5 miles an hour. My car was totaled. It had a cracked windshield right in front of my daughter's face. And I realized that if I had been traveling any faster, and if I had not been able to stop, if I'd hit that cow full on, the cow would have flipped up onto the windshield and smashed my daughter. That cow could have killed my daughter. Well, my daughter would never wear her FFA jacket again. And, well, my husband and I, we just learned to eat less beef.